times this morning, so we'll see what comes up, because there's probably going to be more. I believe in love. I believe in love. One of the things that I am very aware of as I walk in here on Sunday morning is how much I love you and how much I am loved. And my prayer is that all of you know that too. That this is, some might call it a well or an oasis or a place on planet Earth where you can come when you're hungry or thirsty and remember that you're loved. Right here with those who remember. I'm reminded that our theme for this month is manifestation, and then Robert, you shared that scripture about literally women being the manifestation or manifestors of this world that we currently live in. And I guess I would remind us all of what we know in unity, and that is we're creating, that our love creates, that our thoughts create, that our words create, that every aspect of our being is creating what we experience. And we're co-creating this experience right now, in this moment, with our love. And so when we remember the love we are, when we look at these babies, oh my gosh. I mean, I want to jump up and down and celebrate. I want to cry. I want to just thank us all for the mother in us that's creating with our love. You know, sometimes we forget our origin, and I'll just say the origin of our humanness, the origin of our coming into this world as babies, little kids, our innocence. Who taught us? Who loved us? Who shared with us? And how did they show us they loved us? Have we remembered to return love to them, whether they're still in body or not? Because it is in loving those who love that we receive the love we are. It's in loving those who have loved us that we receive the love we are. For when we have forgotten to love God, forgotten to love one another, our partners, our teachers, our parents, when we've forgotten to love, when we've neglected or ignored that love, no matter what it was they did or said, we need to love in order to feel our own love. Sometimes we have work to do. We have forgiveness to do. We have clearing our own hearts and minds. We have going back and remembering that no matter what, they were loving us to the best they knew how. And so are we. And sometimes we forget and neglect and ignore and don't love ourselves. This is why, for me, coming to a sanctuary, a safe place like this, where love is predominant, love is written on the board, and we talk about it all the time, that this is the place we come to actually drink of the nectar of love, to remind ourselves in song and word and hugs and stories. This is the place we are to be loved. First inside us, and then for everyone everywhere, that they might remember too. Now, what did my mother teach me? And thank you, Robert, for... Robert is very often my nurturer. Robert and my mother were very close. Whoops, there are those feelings. And so, Robert actually loves me the way my mom loved me. Sometimes with a similar touch. Sometimes with a similar sense of course I trust you, Betty Lou, of course I believe in you. And there's something about, I'll bet, somebody in your life who loves you in the way that you always wanted to be loved. And maybe you forgot to thank them or love them back. But I'm going to suggest that right now in this moment, you love them back. If it was just a word or a look or a teaching that someone gave you, or perhaps a book from which you received that moment, or the tree, the big oak tree, or the way the grasses bow down for you, or you see in the skies a sense of, wow, this is how I'm loved. I want you to remember that. I want you to remember that and love it with great appreciation and gratitude, because it'll fill you up again to overflowing. So yes, my mother. My mother believed in me without any speck of fear or doubt, ever. And I believe in you, because I learned from her to believe in me. And in the same way, I believe in you. I trust you, and I free you to be exactly who you are called to be, unique unto yourself, with your own specialty, your own gifts, your own talents, your own resources, your own journey, your own adventures, your own struggles, your own stories to tell, and lessons to learn, and places to heal, and ultimately so much love to give. So much love to give. What does all of that ask of me and you? Absolutely nothing. Because love is who you are, who I am, who we are to be. It's almost like our only work is letting go of everything that's been in the way. Letting go of everything that's been in the way. Every place where we've denied or rejected or stepped away or said, no, 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 it's too much. On the way here from Lake County where we live, I was reading some emails and text messages from people who were saying Happy Mother's Day. And I was grinning from ear to ear, and I was receiving every little, whatever you want to call that, piece of that good stuff. And when I looked at it, I realized, you know what? Happy Mother's Day comes from young and old, a lot of men, a lot of men. And I asked myself, so what is it that I am seen as mother? That I would receive Happy Mother's Day. And I want you to ask yourself that too. And that's because, for me, I see everyone as a child of God. I see everyone as a gift of love. I see every breath I take as being an opportunity, every breath I take as being an opportunity to overflow with the bountiful love I've been given. And what I want you to do, just sitting there right now, whether you've been good at loving or not so good at loving, whether you've been good at receiving love or not so good at receiving love, running out of here after service so nobody will hug you. Relate to that. What I want you to give yourself right now is an opportunity to simply receive the love that's ever present for you right here, right now. Yes, I, in a body, am loving you. But I want you to know that the all-loving goodness of humanity and beyond, the love in heaven and earth, is all being poured out on you, in you, as you. And when you are willing and open to receive it, no matter what mistakes you've made, no matter what you've previously allowed, if you will simply open your heart and your mind, you will know no limit to the love you are. It will not fade. It will not forsake you. It will not betray you, because it comes forth from you as you. And therefore you can never feel alone. You never feel unsafe. You always feel provided for, because it's always present in you as you. Be willing to receive your mother's love. Yeah, we hear you. I want to drink of the nectar of my mother's love. I wrote a song, Sucking on the Breast of God. That is what it is. So if you imagine that, if you imagine that you were created by love, as love, for the purpose of loving, that any way that you open to that love, to giving that love, and to forgiving, erasing any block, to being that overflowing love, you will know only goodness in your life. You'll always feel provided for and protected and loved and valued and appreciated and seen as whole and holy. And so our work here is not to forsake ourselves, but to love. So I'm gonna read you something that you probably remember. I'm not going to sing it, but you'll know this song. I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night, a candle glows. I believe for everyone who goes astray, someone will come to show the way. I believe above the storm, the smallest prayer will still be heard. I believe that someone in the great somewhere hears every word. I believe every time I hear a newborn baby cry or touch a leaf or see the sky, then I know why I believe. What if you fill yourself up with that? The words, the feeling, the songs, the possibility. What if you come to a place of being so full that all you can do is give what we're calling today a mother's love? And yes, it matters not if you're a brand new infant and all you can do is simply be the presence of beautiful, miraculous love. Or you're an elder statesman, or a poet laureate, or someone who works in the factory, or someone who has troubles and problems. If you come from the place of a mother's love, everyone will see in you and be in you as a child of that great love. We have wonderful work to do here. Sometimes I think we're about lighting our mind. Sometimes I think we're about filling our heart with love and letting it shine forth. Sometimes I think we're just here to cook a good meal, to make a great dish for our potluck. Sometimes it might be a phone call to someone you know who's lonely, or a smile to the guy in the street. Sometimes some of us simply touch someone's hand, or we go visit a nursing home and listen to a story that's being told. Sometimes what we do is in our own mind, as we're awakening in the morning, we say, thank you, God, for another good day in which I can love, and say, I love you, and I receive your love. There's nothing holding us back except our thoughts. And if you change your mind, if right now you have resistance to all this love stuff that I'm sharing, if you change your mind and you allow only love to flow through you, I guarantee you your life will be filled with love overflowing and more opportunities to love those who come into your presence. There's no one who does not need and value our love whether they know it with their minds or not. And sometimes I have forgotten to share with you that I believe our greatest fear is not the fear of public speaking. That humanity's greatest fear is the fear of love. And letting you just ponder that. And if indeed the fear of love is what's holding us back as a people to be at peace and in harmony and healthy and happy in our families, in our homes, in our workplace, and on the streets, then I invite you to be the one who remembers that love is what's needed here. Love is what's needed here. You can sing with me this song if you remember. How could anyone ever tell you? How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your love